Well, I think date night with Sunny and her husband are being a little interested. How'd it go today? Oh, it was terrible. I had to read this legal statement into a camera and I'd do what they told me. And her husband's like, so did I. I had the same day. Yeah. Now, he's just accused, and this accused in a lawsuit after some time of investigation could ultimately become a federal indictment. That's the apparent path this is on. We'll wait and see. Yeah. But it does not look well when your name ends up with 200 people in a RICO investigation.
Sunny, get in here.
I mean, I agree with mostly everything that's been said. I mean, we know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. And, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance, and then has to sue health insurance companies.
And he gave me some surprising revelations about my family history. I was really reluctant. I don't know how you felt when you did it, Whoopi, but I was really reluctant to do it because I just sensed that there could be something in my family history that would be disappointing. Negative, yes. I thought I was going to have that kind of moment. And Skip had asked me to do it for a long time. And I finally decided to do it because I thought it'd be helpful for my children and my children's children to know what their real history was, Don't believe Trump.
Yeah.
And what he said is that Trump has never really wanted to be president. He actually has always wanted to be king. And he also says that his plan this time is to first play king on television. And if we believe he is already king, we will be likelier to let him govern as a king. So don't believe him, because right now what we're seeing is he's waving his scepter, his king scepter. Yeah. Congestion pricing is gone.
It's like the mafia one was number one. This one takes it over. So he was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange for the kickbacks.
I think it's actually pretty interesting that my husband and I have shared roots.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that. And I think it's great for our children to know this information. I guess it's a fact of life that this is how some people made their living, on the backs of others.
Insurance fraud. Vinny, what do you know about this story?
So, oh man, it's just The View. Just a person... The Sunny Hostin that we all love from one of my favorite shows on The View. And it's always, Tom, what'd you always say? It's always the people that always do the pointing, and it always comes back to them, all right? So when you said, this is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York. You guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia case.
Brace yourself for a daytime TV scandal that may overshadow anything we've seen before. We're talking federal accusations, jaw-dropping legal filings, and a swirl of rumors so big it's left viewers speechless. And at the center of it all, Sunny Hostin, one of the most outspoken voices on The View, and her husband, Emmanuel Hostin, who stands accused of orchestrating a massive insurance fraud scheme. From her seat on national television, Sunny has built a reputation as a champion of social justice, never shying away from controversy or tough conversations. Yet now, her name is entangled in a legal mess that threatens to undermine that very credibility. Did she know about her husband's alleged activities? Is her own legal background a reason to suspect she might have helped? The speculation is out of control, and the story seems to grow more tangled by the day. Let's pull back the curtain on how this legal standoff took shape, and why it's causing such a stir across the country. The allegations. A quick overview. The spark that lit this firestorm is a lawsuit filed by American Transit, a major insurance company, accusing Emmanuel Hostin and nearly 200 other individuals of a large-scale fraud scheme. According to the court documents, these defendants supposedly exploited New York's no-fault insurance laws, which are meant to protect drivers in accidents by covering medical costs quickly, no matter who is at fault. Instead, if the allegations hold any truth, Hostin and others seized this opportunity to bill massive sums for procedures that patients never actually needed. This is not just any lawsuit. It falls under RICO, Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt. Organizations statutes, originally designed to topple organized crime groups. Think about it. The same legal tool used to bring down mob syndicates is now being pointed at a respected orthopedic surgeon, along with a host of alleged co-conspirators. If found liable under RICO, any damages could be tripled, meaning the potential penalties could soar into the billions. For viewers at home, it's a shock to see that the person behind these accusations is married to someone who has spent years upholding justice on TV. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Meet Emmanuel Hostin. Before these allegations, Emmanuel Hostin was a relatively admired orthopedic surgeon. He built his career on surgeries that, in theory, help people regain mobility and relieve chronic pain. Yet according to American Transit's lawsuit, some of those surgeries were nothing more than a payday. Unnecessary procedures billed at sky-high rates in the name of profit. The alleged victims? Often taxi or rideshare drivers, individuals who rely on their physical well-being to make a living and may not have the resources to push back or question the treatments they receive. Rumors have circulated that during a search of the Hostin family home, investigators stumbled upon huge sums of hidden cash. Naturally, that only fuels more speculation. Was this money connected to the alleged insurance scheme? And if there's more evidence to uncover, how far does this operation truly stretch? Adding another layer of suspicion is the fact that RICO cases rarely appear out of thin air. By the time federal investigators invoke these laws, they typically believe they have a deep, interconnected web of wrongdoing. Does this mean the evidence against Hostin is rock solid? Or is it all a strategic move by American Transit to intimidate those it claims defrauded the system? The lawsuits, countersuits, and swirling rumors have turned this into a legal labyrinth that no one saw coming. And it doesn't end with Emmanuel. Sunny Hostin's background and public image. For years, Sunny Hostin's public persona has been that of a sharp-tongued commentator who tackles everything from politics to pop culture. Viewers who follow The View know her stances on social justice, economic inequality, and corporate corruption. That's part of why this scandal feels so explosive. Here's a former federal prosecutor, a figure who once represented the law, now facing accusations that her household might have been profiting from someone else's misfortune. Before she became a talk show fixture, Sunny served as an assistant U.S. attorney. She built her career on prosecuting crimes and holding people accountable. Now, the shocking irony, has all that talk about integrity and transparency been compromised by a husband who allegedly orchestrated surgeries that nobody needed? And what if Sunny knew about these rumors early on? The possibility alone has set social media ablaze with debates over whether Sunny is a victim of circumstance or a willing participant in a moral downfall. Those who defend her argue that she should not be automatically held responsible for her spouse's alleged wrongdoing. It's possible, they say, she had no clue what was going on. But others look at her legal acumen and high-profile stance against corruption and wonder how she could have missed such a massive scheme, if it indeed happened right under her nose. The more details emerge, the harder it is to ignore the question. Did Sunny play a bigger role than we think? RICO. Why this is a big deal? The RICO laws that American Transit has invoked carry serious weight. Historically, RICO has been used to dismantle everything from organized crime syndicates to white-collar fraud rings. In many ways, it's the ultimate legal weapon for prosecutors aiming to prove that individuals worked in a coordinated effort to commit crimes. What makes RICO so daunting? If the defendants lose, any damages the court awards are automatically multiplied by 3. Think about the potential scale. If an insurance company claims tens of millions in fraudulent payouts, the final penalty could be hundreds of millions, or even billions, after RICO's mandatory tripling. Emmanuel Hostin could see his entire career and financial stability crumble under these penalties. And if there's even a whiff of evidence suggesting Sunny Hostin contributed to the scheme, her own future may be in serious jeopardy. Further complicating matters is the sheer size of this case. Being named alongside nearly 200 defendants, in what some are calling the largest RICO action in New York's history, is staggering. That's bigger than several of the mob takedowns that first popularized RICO decades ago. For perspective, these laws have dismantled entire organizations in the past. If even half the allegations are true, the repercussions will be monumental. Next, it's time to look at how The View is handling this explosive story in real time. Tension on The View and public reaction. Sunny Hostin's seat on The View has always been one of authority and conviction. Viewers tune in to hear her passionate takes on political scandals, celebrity controversies, and moral dilemmas. But this time, the controversy is her own. That uncomfortable tension has not gone unnoticed. Dedicated fans of the show say they sense an undercurrent of awkwardness whenever the topic veers too close to corruption or legal battles. Interestingly, Sunny's co-hosts have been oddly quiet regarding Emmanuel Hustin's predicament. It's unusual for The View to shy away from dissecting personal controversies, as the show thrives on open discussion. Behind the scenes, some insiders whisper that ABC executives and producers may be navigating a delicate balancing act. If they address the scandal head-on, it could lead to increased scrutiny of Sunny's role. If they avoid it, the audience may sense a cover-up. Neither outcome is particularly appealing for a brand built on candid debate. Meanwhile, social media is divided. Sunny's supporters argue that a person shouldn't be punished for their spouse's alleged misdeeds, insisting there's no proof she played a part in the fraud. Critics, however, see a glaring hypocrisy. A high-profile legal mind who consistently calls out others for unethical behavior is suddenly entangled in a scandal that violates every principle she claims to stand for. Has her credibility been permanently tarnished? Will The View stick by her, or could this be the start of a quiet separation to preserve the show's image? But there's even more swirling beneath the surface. Rumors and speculation, Sunny's possible role. Perhaps the most dramatic whispers suggest Sunny may have used her prosecutorial background to facilitate her husband's alleged activities. If there's any truth to that, it would mean leveraging her specialized knowledge of the legal system to cover financial tracks, possibly through shell companies or convoluted paper trails. Skeptics ask, how else could a grand-scale operation slip under the radar unless someone savvy was helping behind the scenes? To be clear, these are accusations, not confirmed facts. Sunny has vehemently denied any wrongdoing, dismissing speculation that she took part in her husband's alleged scheme. But in a high-profile case like this, rumors spread fast. Was she truly in the dark, or did she look the other way? The internet has endless theories, and each new thread seems wilder than the last. This is the kind of story that thrives on whispered secrets, unsourced tips claiming hidden bank accounts, hush money payoffs, and carefully orchestrated deals. Real or not, they feed the public appetite for scandal. The longer the case drags on, the more rumors multiply, and the harder it becomes to separate fact from fiction. Still, it's not just the rumors that could bury Sunny and Emmanuel. The official legal battle is just beginning. The legal battle ahead in response to the lawsuit, Sunny and Emmanuel Hostin have enlisted an armada of legal firepower. Leading the charge is none other than Mark Garagos, a name that often surfaces in high-stakes courtroom dramas. Garagos has threatened a countersuit claiming that American Transit is waging a smear campaign against the Hostins, seeking to distract from its own financial troubles. In this narrative, Emmanuel is the victim of a bankrupt insurance company, desperate to avoid paying valid claims. Critics of Sunny's strategy see this as a textbook defense. Flip the script, paint the accuser as the real villain, and question the motives behind the lawsuit. In public statements, Sunny accuses American Transit of filing frivolous claims against her husband, describing the entire RICO action as an overblown attempt to rewrite normal medical practice as fraud. Of course, the insurance company stands by its allegations, citing evidence that they claim reveals a pattern of fraudulent claims and inflated billing. What's certain is that court proceedings under RICO can drag on for years. Between motions, discovery, and the potential for multiple appeals, no one expects a swift resolution. That slow drip of legal drama means the public will have plenty of time to speculate, and the Hostins will spend a long while under a microscope, with every detail of their personal and financial lives subject to scrutiny, which leaves us with one burning question. Where does all this leave Sunny Hostin, both on screen and off? Conclusion. A scandal far from over Sunny Hostin's brand has always revolved around justice, accountability, and truth. Now those very ideals are being tested in the most personal way imaginable. Will her credibility survive if her husband's alleged fraud scheme proves to be real? Can she continue to deliver moral judgments on air if there's even a hint of her own involvement or complicity? Some fans argue that we should reserve judgment until all the facts come out. Others see the irony as too blatant to ignore, especially given Sunny's history as a federal prosecutor. As the legal battle lurches forward, The View faces an equally precarious situation. Risk tarnishing the show's credibility by standing behind an embattled co-host, or abruptly part ways with a personality who's been integral to its lineup for years. In the end, this story goes beyond the Hostins themselves. It raises larger questions about how we handle alleged abuses of power, how public figures maintain trust when controversy erupts, and whether a prominent media personality can bounce back after being linked to such a serious scandal. The accusations alone are enough to leave viewers reeling. And with a RICO lawsuit of historic proportions in the mix, the stakes are higher than anyone could have imagined. Only time will tell if Sunny Hostin and Emmanuel Houston can clear their names, or if this scandal marks the beginning of the end for one of daytime television's most commanding voices. Until the next revelation breaks, the nation is left wondering who knew what, when they knew it, and how far this alleged conspiracy really goes. What do you think? Are we witnessing an unfounded smear campaign? Or is there truly something far more sinister lurking behind the sunny facade? Let the conversation continue because this legal saga has only just begun.